Welcome back, everybody, to the channel, and it is now been revealed that we are indeed on Alma. I had selected this map before we had put the poll up, and it turns out that was the main choice of everyone. This header is not compatible with this harvester. I would say that's a shocker, but honestly, I'm not surprised. So we'll go with something more tried and true. Waylon, what's up? What is up, sir? So earlier today, I put together a playlist, all the maps I did videos on in 2023, 134 different maps. And then I studied that list for a couple hours, narrowed it down to about 5 maps, and then decided that, you know what? When Alma came out, I don't know what I was involved in, but I'm pretty sure I was in one of those positions where it was like, well, if I had the time, I would really want to play on this map. But it was one of those things where I just didn't have the time at that time. And, well, things have changed. And we are in a different position now. And as such, that's what we're doing. Let's get rid of this. It's too low to the ground. It was too low to the ground, and it was lifting the drive wheels up off the ground. Thank you, Kerbo. I saw you're more into spaceships and trains these days, which is all perfectly fine. But let's talk about the setup before we need to turn around. So I have purchased this farm over here, Farmland 35. Obviously, those that are familiar with Alma, we start over here with Farmland ID 1, where we have cows, sheep, and horses. But over here, we just have cows themselves. Made a couple slight alterations to the farm setup. And bought a couple fields that are around this. Set this field up with wheat. We've got 2 more fields set up with wheat, and then the rest of the fields right now are currently in grass. Start out with 50 cows at this particular farm. So that is what we're going to be working towards. And I know that in subsequent updates, some other productions have been added to this map above and beyond what was included when I first looked at it. Way back in May, I believe, is when this map first came out. So many options. So many options out there. So many good maps. It was really... Oh, look. It's really hard to decide. Calvin, what's up? What's up, sir? Let's take a look at what we did here at the farm. There was some old bales down here, some old junk, and we took those out. We sold those, and instead I kind of made this dirt rock area. We're going to be doing round bales, and I felt this was going to be a perfect spot, kind of emulating how the map was originally set up to stack our round bales over here. Leveled this spot out. This had some old junk cars and old junk machinery. Leveled her out, put a couple bins in for grain storage. Oh, Calvin, I'll give you it this time. This is Alma, Missouri, I believe. Alma, Missouri. Is that right? Let me go change the name of the title. Is indeed. I had the state right. There you go. Now it's been updated. All right, so I put a couple bins in, reworked that a little bit, but the rest is exactly how it ships. Alberta's Aunt Alma on your father's side. She's 3 years older than your father. That's who Alma is. Alma is your mater? Alma mater? Well, that makes sense too. Happy New Year, Lifehawk and Hellhawk. And here's to hopefully 2024 being a exciting and fruitful year for Farming Simulator fans. Here's hoping that we have an announcement in the coming weeks about what might be to come at the end of the year. I say your name every time you're in here. You just choose not to hear it. So we've put wheat in field 40. All right, so we're going to work on wheat. We also have wheat in field 28 and 29. I like how these fields, 28 is behind 29, so we're going to have to harvest 29 first. Then we'll get to the pass, or the little cut, to get into 28. We do not own 30. 30 is between the land that we own. All of these are grass. All these are grass. So we're going to be making some hay. We're going to be making some silage bales. Also, like I said, this is the starting area. And we sold field 9 that you start out with. I sold farmland ID 1. And basically bought this down here with that money. Well, if my hopeful thinking is the correct thinking, we may be 11 months away from seeing the next farm sim, at least publicly released. Hopefully we'll see the next farm sim at FARMER-KLEIN, which has already been announced for July of this year. Giants was quick to get that announced before they broke for the holiday. Now, the typical announcement schedule for FS 19 and 22 has been to announce the game in late spring, have presentations about the game during FARMER-KLEIN in July with gameplay demos, modding sessions, and the like. And then after FARMER-KLEIN, more and more information about the next release. Mr. Furious, what is up, sir? What is up? We'll reline this up. Let's see how the cab looks in here. Not bad, not bad. How do I shut this door? Oh. Clearly it does not help deaden sound. Well, you know, maybe that's all for the better, Calvin. I don't know. But, very sorry to hear about that predicament. Hope it hasn't left you any long-term medical issues. Oh, that would make me Mr. Furious. Farm Sim Jim, welcome back. Yeah, so deleting the channel is kind of the same as deleting your account, because everyone that has a login to YouTube has a channel, right? It's just most people don't put any videos out on their channels, but everyone has a channel. Let's go and look at all these. Look at all these screens. Oh my gosh, I just bought them all. You know, you can never have too many screens. Well, there's always American Truck Sim. You can do your virtual CDL. I know it's not the same, but we should probably not walk that way. Let's practice safe farming habits and not walk around a running header. I mean, if I was actually to practice safe farming habits, I would have shut it down. But hey, you know, we play realistic-ish here on the channel. Before we forget, though, this video is brought to you by Lawrence Anderson and Will Houseman. Thank you for being farm barons. Oh, watch out for the train. We all know that's why Schultz comes by. He comes by to see me, see if I'm going to crash or not. I mean, the good thing about, I mean, I guess if there is a good thing about Google owning YouTube, is YouTube makes them buku money. So we probably don't have to worry about Google killing YouTube off like Google does for so many other of their ventures. I mean, you know, Google Stadia. Hope no one watching got bit by that little mistake. Tell you what though, Calvin, you should try the new Kenworth, the 100-year edition T680. That's what we were running last night in the first half of our New Year's live stream. Thought that was pretty sweet. Really liked the 100 years W900. Drove that when that first came out. Hillhawk. We just bought this thing. We got 0.3 hours on it. So yeah, we've got full fuel on everything. For now. So I think what we'll do going forward is maybe teeter-totter between a US map and a European map. So I'm going to leave that poll up in the community tab, and when I feel it's time to move on from Alma, which hopefully it's not going to be for several weeks, then I'll go back to that and pick one of the other maps. Ultra, I literally just said it, and it's now in the description. CFL, this is your only warning. I will not be doing equipment requests for anyone. And quite frankly, I'm tired of seeing it. So, going forward, anyone that asks for me to do anything John Deere related, it will be an instant timeout. Because, quite frankly, it's fucking rude. That's what I think of it. Play your way. I'll play my way. If you don't like it, well, there's plenty of other things to do. Rabbit Rob, what is up? Oh my gosh, let's just dump. How do I... No. 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 I guess I can't change the I can't change the spout angle. That's annoying. That's annoying. $50 days. How many hours is 50 days? 50 times 24? That's a lot of hours. That is a lot of hours indeed. Let's bump our clock back up. Of course, thank you. Thank you for that. In fact, they're still running a 25% off sale. The discount code has changed ever so slightly. So let's talk about that real quick. Get that spot out of the way. So we have partnered with Apex Gaming Computers, and currently they've been running a 25% off sale for the last several weeks, actually, but the code has now changed to NYNPC. I believe that stands for New Year, New PC. I think that's what they're going for. So 25% off. Right now, I feel the best bang for the buck is the Homesteader configuration. That is going to be bottom dollar price, $1372.46. It's going to get you a 12600 KF 10-core processor, all-in-one liquid cooler, 16 gigs of RAM, 3060 Ti, 512 gig NVMe drive, plenty of room to add additional drives in there if you want. And the big thing for me is that 750 watt power supply, which is going to give you plenty of room to grow and expand your system in the future, because no one wants to buy their computer and then be stuck with the exact configuration for years and years to come. So Apex Gaming Computers, there is a link down in the description below that will take you to this exact configuration, but we do have two other configurations in the Yeoman or the Homesteader, as well as the Rancher. So go give them a shot down at Apex Gaming Computers. And we have perfectly timed that to be right at the end of the run. Oh, Hellhawk. Darn bot. Got you caught. You probably put, what did you put? You put a word and you didn't have, you had a period. I don't know what that message meant. I do have merch. Streamlabs put that link up. But as far as in-game, I did not add the Wardrobe Plus. I did not add, shame on me, I did not add the wonderful things that Schultz worked on for me. So in this save, right now, I don't have in-game merch to wear. But I do have real merch. We've got stickers, we've got shirts, we've got sweatshirts, we've got barley juice, glasses, mugs, water bottles. I will tell you, if you get the stainless steel water bottle, don't put it in the don't put it in the dishwasher. hand wash only. The vinyl lettering doesn't like the dishwasher. I'll just leave it at that. You saw on the bot does not like when you put 2 words in a period. Thinks it's a link. Just a little advice there. Calvin, my uncle, my late uncle, ran a logging business in West Virginia before he passed away. Now I believe that business is run by my cousin. I do remember growing up, there was a summer or two that I would go and spend a couple weeks up there and ride along on some logging runs, hauling logs. And they had their own sawmill too, where they would take their logs and, you know, cut them into, you know, various size lumber and then sell the lumber as well. It's a pretty slick operation. Yeah. Yeah. The bot is an idiot. The bot's dumb. Whoever programmed the bot really did not do a very good job with respect to URL detection. So the bot thinks anything separated, 2 letters separated with a period is a link. And clearly that's not correct. Glad you're going to order the Farm Sim stick. I'm glad you ordered that. I'm not sure what you mean by a great delivery video for reference on the Farm Sim stick. We talked a couple weeks ago about my thoughts on the Farm Sim stick just from a casual observer and the Hori bundle. But I have no direct experience with either. Hope you enjoy the Farm Sim stick when it comes in. I don't know brand, I don't know what model of what is this called? This thing. They had one of these, but I don't know if it was a John Deere or what model it was. To, you know, drag logs out to the clearing. Well, Kerbo, either that's a good sign that everyone's buying up the Farm Sim stick, or that they just didn't stock enough. Let's see. Let's check Thrustmaster's site out now. I know they sent a ton of those things out for creators. Let's see here. What do they say? Oh, where to buy? Amazon. I don't want to buy from Amazon Canada. I want to buy Amazon.com. They are currently unavailable. Amazon.com still. So yeah. Now this was back. Me being with them during the summers was probably, oh gosh, 35 years ago. I'm surprised Skeeter tires aren't, well, I guess if they were solid, they would be so heavy. But I'm kind of surprised that they wouldn't be solid, given that they would likely be so prone to puncture. We got rain coming, so I am going to slow the clock down. Now, Calvin, there are lots of really nice forestry maps out there. And then the Platinum expansion really did bring a lot of additional gameplay elements to the forestry side of things. Just run into everything. Why not? Why not just run into everything? Beat it up. Well, one thing that makes Farm Sim so popular is its flexibility. Right? It can be forestry simulator. It can be farming simulator. It can be whatever you really want it to be in lots of regards. This Kinsey has a scale on it. So all the mods have come from the Giants Mod Hub. We've got a few script mods that are not, but the vast majority of these mods are from the Giants Mod Hub. Why go anywhere else when you've got such quality mods over at the Giants Mod Hub? You think you're going to get 1,300 more hours by the end of the year? I mean, right? You want to beat your FS22 or your FS19 limit time, right? So you're going to need to get 1,300 hours in the next 11 months or so, maybe. I'm glad you're enjoying that map, Corsa. Yeah, I was actually on the Mod Hub not 10 minutes before the live stream started, trying to figure out which auger wagon I wanted to use. And then about 30 minutes before the live stream, I was on trying to figure out what trailer I wanted to use. Oh, did Farmer G say how many hours he's got into it? Well, see, Farmer G, I didn't have it different. So when COVID hit, I was still going to work every day, just as if it wasn't. So I was still putting in my 40 hours a week in the office. Someone had to be at the office in the event that there was a need to physically shut down servers or do some sort of physical maintenance on that. Most of my other staff were remote, but we were still putting in 7.5 hours a day, 8 hours a day. $3,500 FS22, only $500 FS19. Well, that's okay, Farmer G. You came in for the best farm sim, at least until something else comes out. Big Dazza! It is Alma, Missouri. That was the mystery reveal. Artemis, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Hope the first day of 2024 has been good to everyone. I go back to work tomorrow. Sad sounds. If my sound effects were working, it would be a sad sound. But my sound effects aren't working right now. Today is the National Day of Recovery. I really wanted a international straight truck, but that wasn't available. So we went with this. Ghostbuster mod pack, like with the backpack and the car. Oh well. What? Oh no. Oh, I was gonna say, how can we have a building wall with no collision on it? Oh, you know what we have to do? We have to pull in. There we go. Oh, I know. Imagine how it would be extremely convenient if you didn't have to shut the game off to install a mod, right? That's about the most annoying part of the game, is having to shut it down so you can add a mod to the mod folder. Calvin, imagine. So if you put that in and then use the emergency pack, you could call out the Ecto-1 to do to do ghost removal. That'd have been really super fun with the Halloween zombies. But I think for whatever reason, Giants took those out. No more walking zombies during Halloween. Yeah, I put in the Mac pack. We better not drive over those train tracks. I put in the Mac pack. Where is it? Right. But I didn't really want that trailer. And I use this a lot on what was that alien gym? Western Wilds. I use this one on Western Wilds, so I kind of wanted to use something different. Aussie Roo, what's up? I mean, it would have been nice, right? It would have been nice if Giants went back and added support. Right here we have this potato auger wagon, right? I mean, come on, it's a belt that unloads to another belt that augers into a trailer. There's no reason this can't haul beets. There's no reason this couldn't do parsnips or carrots. Same for this fact, right? It's two belts feeding to the middle, and then this, which feeds onto this conveyor, which unloads off the side. No reason you couldn't have made this also work with the new root crops. Since they are in base game equipment, it wouldn't be hard to add those fill types. Yeah, anything that processes beets or potatoes should be able to process those other root crops, in my opinion, because, you know, they're basically the same thing. Right? They're basically the same thing. Ah, Mojo, I have no idea how many hours I have in Farm Sim either, because I'm running the Giants download version. And it doesn't track it. I have a feeling, though, I put less hours into the game than many of you do. At most, I have three or so hours of gameplay a night during the work week. And a lot of those hours are spent in not really necessarily gameplay, right? Depending on if maps drop or anything. Any idea what might be the first map to drop in FS22 for 2024? No, well, I'm not talking about harvesting. I'm talking about hauling. Hauling and moving them around once they're out of the ground. All right, while we are making our way up there, I want to look and figure out what I'm doing as far as my mowing setup and my tedding, all of that. So we start with this as starting equipment. Massey Ferguson, kind of like it, right? It's got the wrapper on it. We might just keep it. And I think I can add net wrap to it, which is nice. I want to do square, but I want to do round bales. Right, so that kind of limits some options. I did add this in. These are legit things. You can get a legit baler with these windrowers on the front, but again, I think I want to do round bales. So I think I might just leave this baler. So I'm good there. Mowers. Honestly, I did add the swather. I did add this in. Right, so we could do this. Or I kind of wanted to do kind of want to run with these from the premium expansion. Kinda. I don't know. What do you think? Should I go with the swather or go with the premium expansion? Mowers. So swather would eliminate my need for a windrower, and would eliminate my need for a tedder. Because you can get a conditioner module on the swather. So I think I'll go with that. Herefordshire, what? What about Herefordshire? Or was that the answer to the question about first map to come out in 2024? Alright, so we've got that covered. So yeah, it is pretty high end, right, for this. So 220 horsepower. It is 9.4 meters, and you can get a windrowing option. Right, so it does have windrowing belts on the back. So I'm sure that's adding a little bit to the horsepower you need to drive those hydraulics. But it's not out of the realm of reason. I mean, this one's 160, right? Here we've got these giant butterflies for 250 horsepower. 120 horsepower there. The Samaz mower, Dwayne? So there's the pond. That's the pond that we used for our screenshot earlier. I think anyone playing a 16x map solo is lost their all their marbles. Tell you what, though, you got we gotta be careful. We don't want to get our wheel too far down in the mud there. I mean, you're just trying to harvest all that wheat just for funsies, so. Now, Will, Nebraska Lands 22, you're going to scale those fields up to be more real to life. Raznak, what is up? What is up? I like that logo. Are you gonna be putting it on merch? Or are you looking to change your logo out? William, hello. Welcome. How are things going? Oh, we got a mound of wheat. Yeah, well, we gotta be careful. Like I said, I like the black and white version. Although the color version would be maybe okay. The coloring on the word on your name leaves a little bit. I think that muddies it up a little bit. That's okay. That'll still work. I know. Flossie wouldn't let you be up there for Lover's Day. You little love birds. Of course, this farm also has the added benefit of being oh so close to the shop. That sounds about right for Schultz's driving skills. Nick, what's up? How's it going? There we go. Is it your birthday today or was it your birthday yesterday? And happy birthday. The question is, what type of cake is it? Is it carrot cake? Is it ice cream cake? Oh, it's going for me too. Tonight marks the end of my holiday break. Tomorrow morning I gotta go back to the office. Sad, sad times. Oh, so see, technically you're having cake at 9 p.m. So it's all good. From my perspective, it's perfectly fine eating cake time. It'd be 9 p.m. Were you the New Year's baby in Iceland, or was there another born before you on the 1st? I always wondered if couples like tried to plan it out to get jiggy with it the end of March, early April, with the hopes of ticking father time in the labor delivery room. Oh, who's winning? Who's winning? Who's playing? I never heard of pear cake. Pear cake is a unique thing that I've never heard of. So the game's over, or they're beating? So the big M is beating the big A. Washington will always be the Redskins versus Texas what? Texas. You're talking about college. That's what you're talking about. Washington State? Washington what? I mean, I don't know. If a Husky and a Longhorn went to battle, I mean, it's just one horn spike, and that Husky's done. I don't know. I would expect Walter, but I don't know what the stats are around the births of November and December. I mean, I'm all in with a fluffy milk chocolate topping and a sponge cake bottom, and you can have the pears on the side. Well, yes, they have been, but you know, usually the dogs don't attack the cattle. You said Huskies versus Longhorns, so that's clearly one or the other. Fight to the death. No pineapple upside down cake. Oh, this truck needs more front weight. Good evening, Delilah. Good evening. Now, strawberry ice cream is pretty good. Or, you know, strawberry sundae. Those are pretty tasty. That's where we are. We're at the one closer to town. This is the starting farm. And then there's this little farm up here that I almost decided to do. But I like this one because we already had cows. It was like free cows. So I'm like, let's do this. Oh, I made some slight changes. I got rid of the old bales. I got rid of the junk. Put in 2 grain bins. I left everything else pretty much the same. Well, Donald, what'd you go and get that for? You got it so you could ride the Amtrak? What? What's up, Trip? How you doing? Oh, on the Amtrak. Well, you know. Oh no, were there a bunch of people hacking up along? Public transport is common for getting things, right? You get on a plane and inevitably somebody somewhere is coughing and snotting it up and you're like, oh my God. Why do you have to be on my plane? Oh, thank you, Trip. Glad you enjoyed the videos. But more importantly, glad you're enjoying a farm sim. Yeah, it could have been from anywhere, right? I mean, you go to the grocery store, you grab the cart, off the cart, return out in the parking lot. Right? You don't know who had it before you. You pick up a box, right? You pick up a box off the shelf. You don't know who's touched the box before you. I'm no germaphobe, but I know there's plenty out there. But yeah, you can pick anything up from anywhere. Exactly, Will, right? Exactly. You know, they're playing your closed air circulation. I've never been on a train. It's on my bucket list, honestly. I wanna take a train ride somewhere. But dang if the prices are not cheap. Prices are not cheap. Trip, we're gonna be streaming for another 45 minutes or so. We try to go for approximately 2 hours, and we started an hour and 15 minutes ago. Give or take 10 minutes of pre-show. very, very optimal setup, Delana. So yeah, I put the bins there because it looked fairly flat. And I really didn't need a lot of bins, so I just put 2. And then when I loaded the map up, that bottom area where I've got the rock and dirt, that had a bunch of old deco bales, right? And old bales that were just kind of there. And a lot of shrubbery and bushes and stuff around those. And I thought that that would make a good spot to store round bales. So I plan on stacking round bales there. Or more appropriately, lining up round bales there. I think, Mojo, I looked at a train to Boston for us going to PAX East last year, and it was just too much. And it was not. I mean, it was a long ride too. So yeah, so I thought about I could put I'm gonna go ahead and do round bales, so I could put I could line up hay, silage, straw round bales here. I also downloaded. We've got GTX's object storage, but I don't think I can get rid of the tarp on his. But I did also download Farmer Andy's bale stacks, which do not have tarps. And I thought I could put those here. Ploppity ploppity plop. Right? And then I can have them stacked in here. I would have to flatten this out a little bit. Or arrange the stacks more like this. Right? I put a stack there. 1, 2, and then a stack here. And there, right? And then I could go here. In here. And then go here. And then go there. Right? And then come over here and do the same thing. Doody 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 doody. So that's what I plan on doing. So you have to burn up vacation time when you're sick. You have just one pool of time. Silage cannot, like these silos, no. Silage cannot go into any base game silo. So this is for grain only. None of the base game silos will accept silage, right? I mean, you have these for making silage. Those are technically silos. But none of the base game silos will do silage. There are plenty of modded fermenting silos that will let you do it. There's no base game stave silo or those big blue bins, those big blue silos. Those are used a lot in the in North America for silage, but they're not in the game. On this map, I'm just going to be doing round bales. I'm going to be wrapping grass for round bales, but you can also make silage by dumping it in a silage bunker, compacting it, leveling it, and covering it, letting it cook, I say, for a month or so. And then you'll have silage. Or getting one of those fermenting silos off the mod hub, and then you just dump product in and it's just production. Well, here's hoping, Donald, you can get. So you are guaranteed out until Thursday. Do you have to test again, or is it just you're out till Thursday and you come in no matter what on Thursday? I mean, people have changed their requirements so much these days. Delilah, what type of errors are you getting on the map? Are you getting something other than what I had in the video? Haley, what's good about this map? I really liked how the town's set up. Visually, how the town looks. I like the field layouts. I like the 3 farm layouts. The map has added crops. So in addition to the standard crops, we also have rye, peas, and alfalfa. Now I did go ahead and risk it, and I added premium expansion. We have 3 crops here, and I didn't get any sort of log error. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. People are saying that maps with additional crops, for whatever reason, don't like premium expansion. But to each their own, right? Why I like this map or want to do this map may be exactly why someone else doesn't want to do this map. Now, the error the big Lua error that I was getting was related to like the log house, one of the farmhouses, and the corresponding garage. I assume that if you sold those buildings or just didn't add that mod in, then those would go away. I really don't know how much of a forest this map has. I don't think so. Maybe this area right here, but a lot of these trees are not really forestry trees. In fact, I don't know if there's even a yeah, there is a sawmill. As far as Millennial Farmer Map, Zachary, I do not follow anyone, so I have zero idea if anyone is working on a map, if anyone plans on releasing any sort of a map. I will tell you that personally I felt the Millennial Farmer map that came out in, I think one came out in 17 and 19. I thought both of those were way overhyped disappointments. But that's just my personal thought. That is correct, Zachary. They did make the map in FS 17 and 19. Still, I felt they were way overhyped disappointments. I thought the silo was overly complex. Making it not so simple, not so straightforward for players to understand. If I'm remembering right, when it first came out, there was a lot of issues with certain parts of the field technically being under a water plane layer, which meant that you couldn't work certain fields at all because it said you were underwater, or it constantly flashed the "don't drive too deep into the water" message when clearly you weren't around any of the water. Trip depends on the animal building, the animal pasture, as to if you can provide bales or not. The pasture area has to be set up with a bale trigger for it to accept bales. The base game buildings do. If you're doing a modded pen, then it depends on the mod author or mapper, if it's built into the map, as to if they added the bale trigger or not. You cannot get straw from corn in the base game, but there is a mod on the mod hub to get straw from lots of extra crops, including corn. I don't remember the name of the mod, but it has something to do with additional straw or something like that. Now, real life farmers will bale the corn stalks and sometimes use them for bedding. So the extended straw or additional straw does have some merit in reality. I've been playing Farm Sim since 2016, late 2016. And I've been doing Farm Sim content since 2017. There you go, extended straw crop mod. I saw it today when I was looking for some other things. Yeah, it just makes everything straw. It's just, easier that way for consoles, I guess, than trying to add a whole bunch of additional Bale textures and things. Zach, we're working an AMD 5900X CPU, 32 gigs of RAM, a 3080 GPU. We play and stream at 1440p. So they are unique fill types. Trip, you should never purchase a mod from anywhere. In fact, paying for mods is strictly prohibited from the Giants' terms of service. Mods should only ever be distributed free. And there is a very, very fine line between a free will donation and paying for early access, paying for beta testing of mods. Basically, the way Giants approaches it is anything that is listed as pay me money and I give you access to unreleased mods, or I give you access to mods that are not publicly available, as basically a violation of their terms of service. Now, to that end, I'm not saying that one should not give free will donations to creators if you are wanting to. But from a standpoint of the creators, technically it is a violation of terms of service to say, hey, join me on Patreon, and for $5 a month, I will give you access to all my unreleased work-in-progress content. That is the gray, fuzzy, fine line that I'm talking about. Well, Will, if there's plenty of ambassadors that report folks like that to Giants. And in fact, if you run across any, feel free to email Giants at abuse@giants-software.com. And that's how you want to do it. So abuse@giants-software.com. And they have various ways of basically dealing with that. Not a problem, Trip. Not a problem. It's how we all learn and grow. Thackeray, would you recommend a gaming PC for Farm Sim to help? Oh wait, to be able to play on a TV using a console controller. Well, I mean, so you want to right? So you want to play with a controller to a TV, so HDMI, right? I mean, any PC will do that. Of course, we have partnership with Apex Gaming Computers. We talked about those earlier in the stream. They are linked down in the description. Laptops, you know, do you need the mobility of a laptop? Are you looking at a laptop just from a space standpoint? Gaming laptops are fine, but price to performance, you're going to be paying more for less performance than a traditional, you know, full-sized tower PC. So, you know, a laptop with a, let's take a laptop with a 4070 graphics card versus a desktop with a 4070 graphics card. The desktop will, every day of the week, outperform the laptop because a 4070 is not the same in a laptop versus a PC. Laptops have to deal with power and thermal constraints that desktops just don't have to work with. But if you need the mobility because you're a student, let's say, and you need one laptop to do coursework and game, and you need that mobility for going to classes and such, then so be it, right? There are gaming laptops for reasons. But if you don't absolutely need that mobility, then a standard desktop will get you much better performance for the price. Yeah, home theater PC. Assuming it's got a, you know, powerful enough graphics card in there. Typically, home theater PCs have a GPU that's more akin to video encoding, or should I say video decoding and or transcoding than gameplay. So, yeah, I don't have any direct experience with MSI. I did have, and I gave to my son a gaming laptop from Asus. I think it had a 15-inch screen and has a 2060 in it. But I gave that to him earlier this year as his kind of first gaming computer. And that laptop was nice. It was a bit plasticky. And I replaced that with a Lenovo Legion machine. It is like aluminum chassis. It's much more robust. Feels a lot better built. But that's my mobile setup. I don't game on that a lot. There's a channel out there called, let me look it up. There's a YouTube channel, Jared's Tech. So Jared's Tech exclusively does gaming laptop reviews. So if you're looking for a gaming laptop, go check Jared's Tech out. He just put videos out about best gaming laptops for 2023. He has a gaming laptops.deals website that he posts deals to every day. It's definitely worth checking out and keeping up with. You could look up the video, look up the laptop that you are interested in, seeing what he has to say. His videos are great because they're the exact same format for every laptop. So he talks about thermals, he talks about keyboard flex, keyboard feel, noise levels, speaker levels, display performance. So yeah, they're going to be everyone's going to be announcing their new 2024 models, which means the 2023 models will be going on sale if they're not already on sale. We'll imagine FS22 at 4K at 120 hertz. Or imagine all of the script mods, 4K maps, 16x maps, the maps that are not available due to scripts and things. Not that a console is a bad gaming experience for Farm Sim or anything else, but the sky is literally the limits with respect to PC gaming, right? There might be thousands of console games. There might be tens of thousands of console games, but there would be hundreds of thousands of PC games as a comparative, right? But consoles have their place. I'm not putting consoles down. I do not abide by the PC master race idea or concept. We do have an Xbox Series X in the house. It's my daughter's. My son has a Nintendo Switch that he loves and still plays right alongside of the PC now. Right? Right now, his current favorite game is Baldur's Gate 3. He plays that on PC. Just today, he was asking me if I could help him install a couple mods. I tried to install some mods for him about a month or so ago, and I don't know, I couldn't figure it out. So we'll have to figure that out tomorrow, right? So it's just mods, really. Endless possibilities exist on the PC side of gaming. You're not limited to 60 hertz, right? But you do get more potential for frustration. You get more potential for issues. Delilah was just talking about a PC map that released right before Christmas. It's got some issues. I'd like to see it get updated. But there's other issues that they're running into with respect to mod conflicts. And sometimes it can be a little bit of an exercise in troubleshooting those, getting those cleared out that oftentimes you don't run into with consoles. Kerbo, check you later. Yeah, we're going to be going on for about another 15 minutes, and then we will be punching out the clock to end our day as well. But I think most of the reason that a lot of the reason that console players for Farm Sim come over to, let me stay zoomed out. It's a lot quieter. A lot of the reasons console players come over to the PC for Farm Sim is slot count and just general mod and map availability. They want to be able to do maps and mods that aren't on the mod hub. They want to do 4X maps. They want to do script mods like guidance steering that we've been using tonight. Honestly, I did not pay attention as to which vehicle mods we had, if they were all cross-play or not. I've got some script mods in place. Like you may have noticed, the harvester just auto stops when it's full. No risk of me running over a crop because it fills up and keeps going forward. That's a script mod. It just works. Those are not allowed on console, thanks to Sony and Microsoft. Zachary, I mean, to really genericize that, I would say anything with a fairly modern CPU. So 12, 13, 14th gen Intel, right? I mean, that's 3 different generations of Intel processor. But quite honestly, Intel does not innovate anymore. So a 12th gen processor is fairly equivalent to 14th gen processor. With respect to performance, yes, there are subtle differences. 7000 series AMD would be the current gen there. 16 gigs of RAM at a minimum. You want a fast hard drive, so typically an M.2 drive would be fast. An NVMe drive is also another term for that. SSDs are fine. Those are some general guidances on specs, right? Like I mentioned, we've got a partnership with Apex Gaming Computers. I've got 3 configurations in the shop. That's linked down in the description. Yeoman is kind of an entry level. The Homesteader is the mid-grade. That's where I think the good bang for the buck is. As far as the configuration goes, it should play Farm Sim just fine and dandy. But with a desktop, right, you will need a monitor. But if you're just going to hook it up to a TV, then all you need to do is make sure you have a HDMI cable to go from the video card out to the monitor. And a controller. Xbox controllers work great. The newer model Xbox controllers connect just with Bluetooth. So you want to make sure the PC supports Bluetooth. Some of the newer Xbox, or some of the older Xbox controllers require a USB dongle to connect. Rabbit Rob uses a wired PS5 controller. I have heard of other people using a wireless PS5 controller. as well. Farm sim isn't super taxing. But it does look pretty. It does look pretty when you turn all the settings up. Schultz says I'm expensive. But yeah, Nebraska lands in 19. Alright, that's a 4X map. Will's going to be making Nebraska lands in 22 a 16X map. So 4 times bigger. 4 times bigger. 16 times the fun. Right, so you can do multiplayer. I mean, back in FS17, you couldn't do multiplayer on a server for console. That was changed in FS22, thankfully. So now consoles can have a very similar multiplayer experience to PCs. So, I mean, Schultz is a good person to talk about kind of the going from console to PC. What his motivations were, his thoughts, his impressions. Now he's a modder. Modding on that same PC. Giving back to the community. With his creations. Dozer, I didn't know about it. If you're in the Discord, please go ahead and drop that over in the maps channel. Like I say, I don't follow anyone, and the only time I go to Facebook is when I have a lapse in judgment. Oh, 4X No Man's Land map style, wilderness style map. Oh, no, we got this field harvested in 2 hours. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, explanation Discord. Will I get you a link to the Discord? So we'll get this grain offloaded. And tomorrow, well, tomorrow is Tuesday. Honestly, I doubt we're going to see a map drop over in the Giants Mod Hub tomorrow. Just because I think tomorrow is the first day that QA is back. If I am remembering what they said in the Ambassador Discord. So, right, they might start looking at mods. I don't know how many they'll get tested and released in the same day. Especially a map. So the idea is we will hopefully be back here on Alma tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll be focusing on hay and silage. I'll try to find a time to get this straw up off the ground and get those other 2 wheat fields harvested. Now, Flight Sim. I don't think anything will run Flight Sim at like 60 FPS. That's one of those resource hogs. No more. No. That was where we played Courseplay a lot. No more Courseplay for me. I'm tired of fighting Courseplay. Not doing what it's supposed to do. There we go. With that, let's go ahead and roll our credits. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming out and watching. We had a really good audience tonight. We always have good audiences on our first few map streams. Hope we can keep that up in 2024. And remember, there's no wrong way to play. As long as you are enjoying yourself, that is all that really does matter. Once again, thank you all for coming out and watching. Hope you have a safe and sane start of the new year. And with that, happy farming.